Megyn Rapinoe makes feelings clear on Caitlin Clark, white privilege, backlash. Megyn Rapinoe clapped back at those who have criticized Caitlin Clark after the Indiana Fever star acknowledged that her white privilege has helped her on her WNBA journey. Megyn Rapinoe has rushed to the defense of Caitlin Clark after the Indiana Fever star was called out for recognizing her white privilege upon being named Time's Athlete of the Year. Speaking to Time in the magazine's annual edition, Clark acknowledged that her path to the WNBA was paved by the league's black stars that preceded her. "I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege," she said. "A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing." The selfless comments were met with a heavy wave of criticism headlined by Megyn Kelly, who slammed Clark for all but apologizing for her race. Addressing the fierce backlash, Rapinoe criticized the current state of right-wing media and those who allow their political beliefs to get in the way of what is true. "I think what Caitlin did in her quotes, or in the article, was speak explicitly about her white privilege, and that is what is receiving so much criticism or backlash, and that is the lesson," she said. So, for conservative media coming at her now, that obviously they're just showing their whole. If fans are upset about her saying that and just acknowledging what is true, I think that says a lot. But I think the more that you speak directly to it, the clearer it becomes what your stance is, and then you can't be used in that way. It doesn't really leave your beliefs or your stance as a white player to any sort of interpretation. According to Rapinoe, the latest clash between Kelly and Clark is also indicative of a greater issue affecting women's sports. "I think another thing that I'm constantly trying to think of and be aware of, and I want other people to be aware of also, anytime there is a positive story in women's sports, this sort of quote-unquote area is immediately flooded with divisive narratives," the former US WNBA soccer captain added. But for all of us to just be aware of that anytime there's anything positive or honestly just any news at all in women's sports, it's just immediately flooded with insanity and really divisive narratives. Clark, for one, is hardly impacted by the fallout of her comments, insisting that she only listens to the opinions of her inner circle. "I feel like one of my best skills is just blocking things out," she said while appearing at a Time dinner in New York City. "The only opinions I really care about are the people I love, my teammates, my coaches, the people inside our locker room, the people I see every single day and I know have my best interest at heart."